I did a story on leadership conference, provincial leadership conference we held at Lower Hill Academy. We just talked to a bunch of people that were there to find out what's up with that and what's cool and what's not.
Dancing with Gregory Hines, did we mention them?
I did a story on suicide. I spoke to this really amazing and strong girl named Vicky. Her brother committed suicide 2 years ago.
A lot of kids have been getting tickets for loitering in the metros. The cops say that it's a place of circulation, it's not a place to hang out. The judge says it is a place to hang out, so we went to check it out.
I did a story on the psychic plus Bonaventure. It was actually also pretty cool because we talked to a bunch of clairvoyants, had my palms read, the whole deal. But we also talked to a skeptic who said you shouldn't take things for face value.
In 1994, 301 young people between the ages of 10 and 19 committed suicide in Canada alone. But what does that mean? That's just a statistic, a nameless, faceless number. Well, Louis Castonguay was part of that statistic. He went to school here in Laval, and tonight we spoke to his family.
He was 15. I remember him coming to my work, like 2 days maybe before, and he had my cap on, and he'd always take my clothes, and it would drive me insane. And I asked him, I go, when are you going to give me back my clothes? And, you know, he's like, well, actually, your cap, I won't need it anymore. And I was like, what, you're going to commit suicide or something?
Were you guys really close?
Yeah, actually, we were. Like, you know, there was only me and him. So we kind of always, you know, played around together. And we only have 2 years difference, so, you know, we were pretty close.
We never talked about it. I never seen signs. I know he was quiet and kept a lot in, but I never seen signs.
Hi, Lucy. Are there any patients for me to see today? Yeah. Hopefully the adolescent will open up and say, look, I'm in pain. Things are not going well for me. Some adolescents don't have those verbal skills. In fact, many don't.
Do you know any of his reasons or any of...
I guess the main reason I could say is that, you know, my mom died when I was 11 and when he was 9, and he was really close to her.
There could definitely be family factors that would contribute to the adolescent feeling sad, depressed, lonely, wanting to hurt themselves.
Perdre un enfant, c'est à peu près ce qui peut arriver de plus difficile à quelqu'un. C'est pas normal de survivre à un de ses enfants. Normalement, c'est eux autres qui devraient nous enterrer. J'entendais la télévision jouer avec juste un peu de lumière. Là. Je pensais que c'était tout simplement endormi devant la télévision. Mais on ne veut pas penser. On voit l'âme, puis on ne veut pas encore penser. C'est quand on touche, puis qu'on s'aperçoit que le corps est froid. Là, c'est là qu'on a une réaction.
Once it, like, set in, how have you been dealing with that?
Well, actually, before I was really mad, and then I felt guilty. I was going over all the things that I did, all the things that I said, and actually all the things that I should have done.
He was always happy. He was happy. But he didn't talk very much. And when we asked him questions, he answered, but he didn't get into things.
Il avait donné des indications, même la veille au souper, il m'avait dit, papa, je suis fatigué de vivre. Ça aurait dû allumer, là.
Ben, ça m'a énervé au début, là. J'étais super stressée. Ben là, c'est moins pire.
It's so hard for us to accept that someone would, like, take his life away and decided, you know, he decided, well, I don't want to live anymore and I'm doing this. You know, when I see, like kids with long hair that are, like, 15, 14, and, you know, they're all walking around with their friends, I'm like, you know, I kind of wish I had my brother, but that's like the selfish thought, you know? You have to think of him. I guess he had this inner feeling inside that he couldn't support.
You have to keep in mind that if the individual who's in stress is going to push you away, and you yield to that for fear that you're being overly intrusive, you may not see that person again.
Qu'est-ce qui arrive après? Comment ajuster?
Je ne sais pas encore. Tu vis 24 heures à la fois, puis souvent tu as des dons. Ça, c'est entendu. Mais tu vas chercher l'aide que tu as besoin.
Okay, maybe my brother did come from, we'd say, a dysfunctional family because we didn't have our mom. But I think that a lot of kids do commit suicide.
It's reached a certain stability now, but it's the highest rate here in Quebec than in the rest of the world. And that's for reasons that we're not sure of.
I think it made me stronger. Like to me, everything that happened is based on, like for him, is based on the fact that he didn't really appreciate life. He didn't see the good thing out of it. And that's forcing me to see the good things in life and to be positive.
Merci. A lot of us young folk have been taking to the street lately in protest of some of the action the government's been taking in regards to things that affect us. But today we went and found out what exactly is our beef.
The fees, student fees. Just cost too much to go to university right now.
Young people in general are really feeling gypped by a lot of the cuts that are going on with the government.
Everybody has the right to go to have an education, and if they have such whacked out tuition fees, then no one like myself would not be able to go.
There's cutbacks everywhere right now, and it's getting a little out of hand.
Compared to the United States, I mean, students pay next to nothing here. I mean, it's so heavily subsidized. So, I mean, like a small increase in tuition hike, and tuition is still a small price to pay for education.
I don't know that I would go out and protest myself, but I can understand where they're coming from.
A lot of kids are getting tickets for loitering in the metros. Kids say it's unfair. Cops say they're just doing their job. We went to check it out.
Metro station is not a place to hang out. It's not a place to wait for you people.
It's a law. You have to respect that.
I understand why, because of all the gang violence that was going on, especially in this metro, Villa Maria.
I think it's for the better of violence and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of violence in the metros, and I think that if some rules are made, then a little bit of it will stop.
What's wrong with hanging around in the metros?
No, I think that's unfair. Like, we just come here, we're like, relaxing, just, chilling with our friends. That's all we're doing.
So take me through of what happened when you got the ticket.
I normally meet my girlfriend here at Villa Metro every day. The Metro cops had come. They just told me to stay in the corner near the door over there so I would not be blocking any traffic. So I had left. I listened to what he had to say. The only two other times which I had entered the Metro was one time to go to the store to get something to eat and another time to use the payphone. They had come and they were starting to give me warnings, and I told them that I was using the facilities inside the Metro. Then they had grabbed me outside while I was still there waiting, and they had dragged me in. They did not say anything to me. They just gave me the ticket. Even when I asked them what is the ticket for, they never even explained it to me, which they are supposed to do.
You can't treat every kid like they're a criminal. I mean, some kids are just standing there waiting for the bus. Inside the Metro, it's cold outside, or they just want to wait inside, it's windy, it's raining, whatever. I mean, that shouldn't be a ticket to be harassed or told that you have to wait outside, or if you ask 1,001 questions, what are you doing here? What bus are you taking? Like it's an inquisition.
I never saw cops stupid like that in my life. First, they told me to go outside, okay? So I go. And I came back to make a phone call, and that's it. So they give me a ticket. That makes absolutely no sense. 10-15 minutes I would have understood, but she wasn't here more than 5 minutes. Some adults are hanging around here more than like half an hour, just sitting here talking with people, and we're here less than 5 minutes, and we get warned 3 times and yet get still a ticket of $200.
I think maybe if it's like age discrimination, because I find mostly that it's students and like teenagers that get tickets more than elderly people.
If we're standing in the metro, right, and there's a little old lady right beside us, they're going to tell us to go out, and they're going to be like, get out of the metro now or else they're going to give you a ticket. They're going to be like the little old lady, are you waiting for your bus? Okay, then you can stay here. I mean, what is that? It's because we're kids.
There's no age for loitering in the metro or any other installation of the MUCTC. And we do not only target the youngsters. They're given out to adults as well.
I went to Head and Hands to their legal aid to see what I could do about it.
What the judge is saying in this case is these kids were not causing a disturbance. They were waiting for their friends to arrive. And it would appear that anyone else who could
who could argue on the facts that they were waiting for their friends to arrive. They're not causing a disturbance.
The judges who rendered that judgment did not have all the elements pertaining to the ticket.
There is something wrong with hanging around the metros. It's not exactly safe. They have to prevent crime around here for sure, but you know they're starting to exaggerate. There's a lot of violence in the métro Flammarière, but I'm not doing nothing wrong, you know.
If you're going to make arrangements to meet somebody, do it outside of a metro station. Don't do it in a metro station. You'll reduce the risk of precisely that, getting the ticket.
I was part of leadership for 5 years, actually. These are all the friends that I've made over the course of the years. It's an awesome experience. A lot of people here learned a whole bunch of new leadership skills. It was amazing for me. I got on the show. This is my brother. He's here too. He's an animator here, and we're all having a great time, so come check it out.
Conferences are really big things. It's kids with a lot of spirit, a lot of motivation, and a lot of skills, and we just want to bring it out even more. The energy is just about people getting together, meeting new people, and being excited about this whole leadership thing.
Well, what we try to do is promote spirit and leadership skills in students, who then in turn bring it to their schools, and from the schools they bring it to the communities.
Throughout the conference we have different motivational speakers. We have animators who are basically in charge of the group, and these animators, they're wacky, they're crazy. Some of us wear weird hats.
Is this scaring the camera? Because it's scaring me.
The animator tries to keep the spirit of the group very high and tries to motivate them and tries to keep them positive. My most embarrassing moment was when I walked down the street from the train with my skirt stuck in my school bag.
What we try to do is show them that they can be leaders and also have a good time while being leaders.
You have to do the between the legs. I just went bowling this weekend. And
Because imagine what you can do if you dare to care, because care is contagious. But today and every day, you know where it starts? It starts with you.
So you guys are motivational speakers? That's the deal here?
I guess that's the title people give us. We don't particularly fans of that title, because as soon as you hear motivational speakers, people think, okay, motivate us. But we're more on the job, I think, of reminding people.
Everyone knows that the more you get reminded, the more your repetition is is amazing, and you can learn more. So that's what we're reminding them of, the skills.
It kind of themes like Stuart says, don't seize the day, seize today. Dare to care, because care is contagious. It starts from only one place. It starts with you. People got to realize that.
Some people say, about the leadership program, that they find that it's very cultish. Like, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, why?
Try it. There's so much negative about youth. So much negative. Youth are bad, youth are bad, youth are bad. When something is good, let's try and find something bad with the good. Because if we don't find something bad with the good, it can't be real. It's got to be bad. It's got to be bad. So let's try and find the bad. It's a cult. It's got, some weird thing about it. It's not. The reality is, these are good students doing good things, and just getting energized and excited about it. They're getting excited about it. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, at the Mini Olympics, we learn team skills. I mean, all the groups, everyone in the conference is divided into groups, and they work as a team to solve common goals. When you look at this, you're going to see people laughing and swinging on poles, but they all have to do a task. And when they finish this task, after they do it, they sit down as a group and they discuss how they could have done this better, or what worked and what didn't work.
What have you learned so far? What do you think you've learned from this conference?
Okay, there's lots of teamwork involved. We need to be organized. Definitely, they're teaching us how to be good leaders.
I think it gives us a lot of confidence.
We learned, our budgets and our money, how much to save for a dance.
Learned how to motivate different people. Wherever you go, you're leading something, whether it be a cheer or skills or pep sessions or motivational talks. It's all the same thing. Once you know how to lead, you know how to lead for the rest of your life.
We want them to go home and lead them in school activities and real issues, racism, sexism, and we're the people who are going to lead the world into the 21st century.
He's only been dancing for 3 years, but at the age of 13, Travis Knights is already being called a child prodigy, and he's also made quite an impression on his idol, Gregory Hines. I hear you got to dance with Gregory Hines. How did that come about?
Well, my mother saw this ad in the paper, and it said that Gregory Hines was coming to Place des Arts for the Jazz Festival, the first time tapper dancers in the Jazz Festival. And so I got tickets, went there, and I brought my shoes just in case, you know. And so she invited all the tap dancers that had their tap shoes on stage at Place des Arts.
What was that like? It must have been a dream come true.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, it's all the people in the back of the show.
So what makes Travis so special?
Because he has soul, he has rhythm, he feels what he's doing, he loves what he's doing. You can see it on him. He came to me about 3.5 years ago.
And he said he wanted to learn how to tap dance?
He walked into the studio with his mom, and his mom said, my son would like to learn how to tap dance. Then I noticed in the class that he was just picking it up. I would give it to him and he would eat it up. I'd give it to him and he would get it. And I never had to repeat it.
What made you want to start?
Well, it all started with a movie called Tap. And when I saw a scene with Simon Davis Jr. and Gregory Hines dancing together, I just wanted to start.
It is an art that started way back in Africa and moved up to the European countries, came all across Europe to the United States, and there's many forms that it takes. It takes step dancing, it takes clogging.
You can tap to any kind of music, hip-hop. There's no actual music for tap. It's wherever you hear your own beats. If you hear a beat in a certain type of music, you got a tap number.
Well, Ethel's taught me the basics. I mean, the raw basics. So could you teach me a step that's not too hard to do?
You go a combination. You go and, thrust, stride, stomp, and, thrust, stride, stomp, and.
I go over steps in my mind. I try to create new steps in my mind and everything like that, you know. In class sometimes I you know, because when the teacher sometimes rambles on.
Am I getting it?
Yeah. You're natural.
Oh, yeah. So then I lose track once he tells me I'm doing well. Okay.
First stride 5, first stride 6, and first stride 7, and first stride.
Woo! You're a good teacher. Thank you.
I think he does have the potential to go all the way. As long as he keeps focused, as long as he gets a good education, keeps focused, and keeps practicing.
So where do you see yourself 10 years down the road?
Still learning. Because you can never stop learning tap, and so I'm just gonna be still learning and hopefully be on Broadway.
I hear he asked for your phone number. Why do you think he did that?
I have no idea, but I'm hoping he'll call me one day.
All right, well, we're here at the Psychic Fair, and when I first got here, I was expecting it to be a bit out there, kind of like the psychic nose down there. But actually, when I went around, a lot of stuff was pretty interesting, and I was kind of impressed. You be the judge. I don't think I've ever had my hand read, so
no?
This is going to be a first.
Oh, yeah. Now we keep on the paper. Come like that.
Okay.
Just put it straight.
That's the headline, how we think. It's subjective, and then this is the lifeline. Not how long we live, but what kind of life we want to have, how much energy we have to finally do our destiny with the work. Let's say if a guy comes and he's 30 and his destiny line with the work stop at 32. I don't want to say to the guy, hey, you lose your job in 2 years. You want to check, but why it's stopping? What's causing that? Something in his behavior, his character, his attitude is not right. That the person, or maybe a new destiny is coming up. It's like good hand, philosophy can. You see, it's like long fingers, long palm, a lot of thinking is going on, a lot of philosophy, a lot of understanding towards life and everything. All right, maybe I'm only, 28? How old are you?
I'm actually 17.
17!
She thought I was 28. Yes! Yes!
You want to go older.
Get your free palm analysis with our show special. We got some samples on the table here if you want to have a look. Carol, Biorhythms, future forecast. Let's go.
I have a very strong sense that the career that you think you're entering into, you have already begun to question. And I see a calendar date over your head, and it says October, November 1994, if you understand this. And Spirit is saying there is a furthering of your schooling, but in areas that are different from what you thought you would be doing.
And you got all this just now, just from talking to me, or
Not by talking to you. I pray to God, and I just hear the voice from heaven. And in this case, my spirit guide communicates with your spirit guides, and I get this information.
You are being bamboozled. Many of the people at the psychic fairs can say things that you can honestly say are true about yourself, but it has nothing to do with any psychic abilities. They use all kinds of other cues. This psychic unblushingly looked out and saw a young man with a backpack on the seat next to him and said, "I'm getting the feeling that you travel, that you like to travel around." What kind of psychic ability is that? You bank on base rate probabilities. If the sticks show it, or the tarot cards show it, or your palm shows it, or feeling a rock that was owned by the person seems to indicate it, it doesn't matter. It's just like a little gimmick.
Pendulum. About what's going on or what has gone on for you in past lives. One of the things that comes to me as I'm looking at you is a life as a doctor in India.
You need to spend time alone. It's what you need in order to have good relationships down the road. So it's okay to be alone. I give you permission.
In other words, I am, single for the rest of my life. Forget marriage and
What an exaggeration.
don't worry about it, Mom. I'm okay. I'm living at home until I'm 40. The Hermit. It's called The Hermit.
Well, that's it for this week. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye.